What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Anthony, director, actor, cinematographer. And today I want to share something with you that's kind of been on my mind recently. The idea of, do you need the latest gear to make your short film? You know, this is a question that a lot of us as filmmakers or creatives deal with on a daily basis because there are so many new companies coming out with gear specifically targeted towards the indie creator. You've got new cameras launching every year, new lenses, new microphones, you've got new cables, new batteries, whatever it is. There's always some sort of new piece of gear that's launching. And it begs the question, as a filmmaker, as a creative, or even as an actor, do you need the latest gear in order to make your short film? My thought process is no. And here's why. What is a good movie? A good movie hinges on the story, the characters. It doesn't matter if it was filmed on an Arri Alexa or a Sony Venice or your iPhone. What really matters is the story and the characters that you're trying to share. And so, do you need the latest gear? No. There are great examples of films that were filmed on an iPhone. There's even new films coming out this year that are going straight to cinema that were filmed on an iPhone. And am I a believer that you need the latest gear, the latest tech in order to make a good film? Absolutely not. What I am a fan of is knowing how to use the gear that you have accessible to you, right? If all you've got is an iPhone, knowing the settings on that iPhone, knowing the formats that you can film in, knowing what you can and can't get away with when you're on a set, right? If you've got one light, let's say you've got one big film light and that's all you have access to, knowing how to use that light and really get its value out of its output, out of its color, whatever it is, knowing how to use your gear and knowing how far you can push that gear on set is going to take you a lot farther in creating cinematic images. Now, to go back to the point that I had earlier, it all hinges on the story, right? If I've got $1 million budget, I've got an Arri Alexa, I've got sky panels, I've got, 12 by 12s, I've got C-stands more than anyone could ever possibly need. If my story's not there, then there's no point, right? If the character development isn't there and you watch the film and you're left thinking, oh, I guess that was fun, then what's the point, right? I can think back to an example. I just watched a recent film that came out and, the budget was there, right? The special effects were there. They had everything that you could possibly imagine. But after watching the film, I was kind of left with this empty feeling inside of, did I really get to know those characters? Did I really was there a resolution? Was there a midpoint? I don't even know. And so all of that to say is that you can have $1 million or you can have $5, right? What truly matters is the story and the characters that you're trying to portray and the message that you're trying to get across to your audience. Now, as an indie filmmaker, are there pieces of gear that I think are super important? By all means, right? I think some of the most important things for a film are going to be sound and lighting, right? If you've got a good solid microphone. Now, I don't mean something super expensive. I mean, this one here, I believe, was under $100. But if you've got a good microphone, you know how to edit the audio, and you've got at least a couple of good lights, you can make a cinematic image with any camera that you tried, right? There are tons of examples of this all over the internet. Just go Google them, right? So I think if you are a filmmaker and you're looking to invest in your setup, those are kind of the two things that I would look at, is having a good audio solution and having great lighting, right? Because at the end of the day, if you can craft those two things, it doesn't matter how expensive your camera is, you're still going to get cinematic images and be able to create a great film. So, do you need the latest gear to create a short film? I don't think so. Are there pieces of gear that could help you out in creating that short film on a budget? By all means. Take, for instance, our last short film that the Seed Collective made. Hasn't come out yet because it's still going through some festivals and such. We made that movie for, I think, under $300. And I know what you're thinking, whoa, $300, that's a lot. But the $300 went towards, making sure that the cast and crew were fed on set. It made sure that we had, lens rentals if we needed them. Very small things. And in the grand scheme of things, $300 is not that much. But at the end of the day, because our lighting was there, because our audio was there, because we had a character that was interesting to watch and something that we were all truly invested in, we were able to make a pretty cinematic short film for what Hollywood would call no money. And so all of this is to say that if you're a filmmaker or a creative, it can be any field, an artist, a writer, anything like that, and you're thinking, man, I really need that next piece of gear. That's what's going to make my piece better. I'm here to tell you that's not the case. Go out there and practice. If all you've got is a pen and paper, go write the next story on that. If all you've got is an iPhone, go shoot a scene on that iPhone and learn from that experience. Learn how you can make the lighting better. Learn how you could make the set better or the sound or whatever it is. Take what you have now and go create something, right? Because you're going to learn so much more from going out there and creating with the tools that you have than sitting and waiting for the budget to get the tools that you want. So I hope this inspires you. If you like videos like this, make sure to like and subscribe down below and click that bell icon for notifications. As always, I'm Anthony. Now, go out there and make something cool. I dare you.